All right, going to do some more work on the limo tonight. This is the 2012 570 limo. Just got in the mail yesterday a box from Super ATV on their eBay site. I got some the high clearance forward A-arms, but instead of paying $275 like off the website for them, they were $164 because they may have scuffs and scratches. So tonight we're going to open up this box from them and see what do you get for $164 from Super ATV for their scratch and dent type A-arms. I'm curious, is it going to come with the ball joints or steering stops or anything like this, like what the normal kit you buy from them comes with? Is it going to be everything, just some scuffed up A-arms? Or is it going to be just the A-arms? I'm really not sure. Let's open up this box and see what you can get for $164 instead of $275 from Super ATV. Right, get this box open. Obviously you can see it's not one of their normal boxes, but I don't care. That's going in the garbage anyway, and heck, even if they're scuffed up a little bit, I'm going to scuff them up too, so that doesn't matter at all. As long as they're not bent, broken, and they're still in good shape, I am happy. Let's see. Can you see that all right? Oh yeah. Okay, here's one A-arm. Yep, no ball joints, just like normal. Oh, there's another scuff. Okay, no bushings, but that's expected. I have brand new bushings. Well, this A-arm looks amazing shape. Maybe you can see right here, see this little scuff here and here. A little bit here on the powder coating. But I care zero about that. What I do care about is saving $111 on a set of A-arms. Let's check out the rest of them. Here's an upper. Still has the adjustable ball joint, comes with it. A little bit scuffed up here. Here it's kind of dinged up, but nothing bad at all. Perfectly usable. All right, here's the next upper. Okay, what's this upper look like? Nothing's bent. Still has the adjustable ball joint. Threads are good. Boy, this one's in excellent shape. There's nothing wrong with this one. I've noticed I got stickers on them now. On my 2016 that I bought the A-arms for about a year or so ago, it was actually like a riveted piece on there. Stickers just fine with me. Doesn't matter at all. A little clip for the brake line. Here's the other lower A-arm. What's this look like? Oh, I got a little scuff here, like the powder coating didn't quite make it real good. Here. But no bends, no broken welds, no completely missing powder coating. Zerk fittings are still there. Yep. What is this? Still comes with all the Zerks, little spacers, the extended tie rod ends. Those are in excellent shape. They look like they're brand new, just dusty. Make sure they, boy, those feel nice and tight, a lot tighter than my other ones. Oh, that one's movable. Feels good, no slop or wobble to them. Get your brake line clips still, fasteners, and you still get the steering stop kit, which the best thing you can do with these is that. So, didn't use them on my 2016, don't plan on using them on this one either. Well, there you have it. Man, that is a smoking deal. So watch eBay. I think the seller is Old Man Hunt something. I'll put his name in the description and the link of what I got these for in down in the description. But all 4 A-arms, high clearance forward A-arms, 1.5 inches forward, with the ball joints on the adjustable, everything that you would normally get buying them for $275 for $164 and a little bit of change. That is a deal to me. I am super excited. I just saved $111 on this and got the exact same stuff. Now, it's time to put them on the limo. First thing you're going to want to do to install these A-arms is pull your tire off. Mine looks a little different. Got a 5-lug, got an adapter on there to run these old 60s buggy wheels. Love those things. But we're going to pull the tire off, and then we'll proceed to the inside and continue to pull some more stuff off so we can get these A-arms on. Got my handy dandy Harbor Freight Earthquake 20-volt lithium impact gun. I love this thing. Kicking myself for not buying it a few years ago. It works great. $269 at Harbor Freight. If you're thinking about getting one, go ahead and get it. It's worth the investment. Okay, next I'm going to go ahead and pull the axle nut off. I'm going to pull the brake caliper off. I'm going to pull the tie rod end off, get all of that loose, and then I'll be able to go ahead and undo the upper and lower ball joint and be able to slide this whole knuckle just right off of there to gain access to the A-arms. I'm going to have to pull the shock off also. On this machine, I went ahead and bought, because I wasn't sure at first if my 29s were going to clear without the A-arms or not. It turns out they do not. But I bought a 2-inch lift for this. This is just a 2-inch little bracket lift, you know, raises the shock relocation lift for the front and for the back. And this came off of eBay also, $79.99 for a 2-inch lift for this thing. Goes on super easy. Instructions are very clear. You get emailed the instructions. All the parts just come in a little box. You get all the bolts with it. You get the little spacers. You go in between your shock mount where the shock originally was located. You get the nuts, you get the bolts, you get the washers, you get the brackets, you get everything. And the front looks just like this for both sides, and I'll show you the rear here. It's a little bit different. But really, really simple to put on. Probably take you about 30 minutes to do all 4 corners on this thing. Gives you a 2-inch lift. It's just a shock relocation mount. And for $79.99, and I've seen these exact same ones from High Lifter for $175, and other companies $140, and even upwards of $200. This is $80 for the same bracket lift kit. One thing to note when you put this on these brackets, both these front brackets, this inside here will have an angle cut into it. That angle goes towards the inside. That way it's clearance for the factory welds for the shock mount onto the A-arm. But this is a great, simple lift kit. $80, super cheap, super easy to put on. You don't even have to pull your tires off. Just jack it up a little bit, take the load off the shock, pull the bolts out of the shock. And they also give you the extensions for the sway bar links, but I don't run sway bars front and rear on either one of my machines, so I didn't need those. All I need is the brackets for the shocks for both ends. And like I said, it goes on super easy, and I'll show you the back end too. Okay, here on the back we've got the same thing, just a bracket on the inside, a bracket on the outside, a bracket on the inside. My bolt is really long because typically these come with 4 short bolts and some long bolts, and the long bolts are supposed to go through your sway bar links, but being I don't run the sway bar links, I just need all 4 short bolts, so I gotta head to the store and pick up some more short bolts for this. But anyway, it's the same thing, just an outside bracket, and it also has that angle cut on the inside, that way it clears the factory weld, And then on the inside bracket, you have this here, and it's this big L bracket. It has a hole in it here to put a bolt up through the bottom of the A-arm to just hold the bracket down. And then it has the one hole here for the bolt to go through. Very, very simple. Like I said, probably 30 minutes or less for all four corners. Exactly the same as the high lifter kit. That's over $100 more, and some of them are even more than that. But this is a very simple kit. I'll put the link to the eBay description down there. It's all good 1/4-inch material, $79.99, shipped to your door, and you get a 2-inch lift for your 570. This may work for other machines. It may not, because I know the 570 has a Ranger back end and an 800 front end, so not sure if it'll work with others. But there you have it. Very simple 2-inch lift. Get a little bit of clearance. I can tell you, it clears 29s going in a straight line, but when you turn and even the slightest little bit of flex, it does hit the body on this thing. So that's why I'm putting the forward A-arms on, because on my 2016, when on this one here, with just the forward A-arms, I was running 29s, and it did just fine, except for the fact that I didn't run the steering stops. So the tires tend to really eat the front fascia and tear it off. So take note of that. Be prepared for it. 2-inch lift, $80, RZR 570. All right, brake calipers off. We'll just tuck that up out of the way. Now go ahead and pull the tie rod off. Brake caliper does take a 15mm wrench. I'm using a ratchet wrench because it's nice and easy. Tie rod end also takes a 15mm. One thing to do while you have your calipers off, before you when you're going back together, before you put your calipers back on, is you may want to go ahead and check your alignment. You can check your alignment by taking a tape measure from the back side of the caliper to the other one, and the front side of the caliper to the other side also. Get it lined up. I think you want a little bit of toe in, like 1/4 inch, and you'll be good to go. Now tie rod's off, brake calipers off. You're gonna go ahead and pull this axle nut, and then the upper and lower ball joint also. Axle nut looks to be a 27mm. The nut is already off the upper ball joint here, and it's loose on the lower. Those are going to be a 13mm for the nuts, as well as for the bolt. Okay, 17mm for the nut on the shock, and I believe it's a 16 for the head. All of my regular tools are loaded up in the toolbox in the other RZR, because we're heading out camping next weekend, so look for that video coming up soon of Delmo Lake. But this just shows you, you can work on these things with very minimal tools. It doesn't take a whole lot. Okay, shocks unmounted out of the way. Go ahead and pull that bolt for that upper A-arm, as well as the lower A-arm, or lower A-arm, yes, ball joint bolt, A-arm bolt, whatever you want to call it. Upper is free. Dead blow hammers in the other toolbox with the RZR, so we'll just go ahead and knock this off with a lead hammer. There's the hub. And steering knuckle. This is your wheel bearing. These hubs are actually off my 2016, that's why they're steel, and these hubs are steel also, instead of the aluminum ones on the earlier models. Wheel bearing still feels nice and good. Won't have to replace that. Now, I need to go ahead and pull my nut and my bolt for my upper A-arm, as well as for the lower. Now to pull this upper one, you got to pull the front fascia off, because that bolt is about 12 inches long, and it's got to come all the way out the front. Now, unless you want to drill a hole or something in there, which I don't think most people do. Front fascia does take a T27. T25 is close enough. There should be a T27 in your tool bag if you still have it. There's a screw here, 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 and here, as well as the 4 body pins here and here, here and here. That'll have to come off, and you'll have to undo the light bulbs out of your headlights too. Okay, I'll show you something here too. On my 2016, I put the RZR XP headlights in there. Oh, looks like this one might even be a little different. The XP headlights, 2 of the screw holes go in just perfect. And what I had to do is I just took a piece of plumber's tape, ran around the back of it, and I had to drill a hole into my fascia, and I ran a little black screw in there so you couldn't see it, to hold it under nice and tight. But these with the 3 on there, that might even work. But the 900 XP headlights, the earlier model ones, will fit in here. You know, like I said, you just got to do the one modification of hanging some tape on there and drilling a hole. And I got the LED headlights off of Alibaba.com because I'm all about being cheap. And they're the same ones that are 200 bucks on Amazon. I got them for $69. And they work great. I don't even need a light bar anymore. They just light up so well. So the 900 XP lights will fit in the front fascia of the 570. Front fascia is off. Now it is time to take out this upper A-arm bolt and lower A-arm bolt and go ahead and replace them with the forward high clearance A-arms. A-arm nut is a 15 millimeter also. A-arm bolt head is also a 15 millimeter. A-arm is off. I've already put new bushings in this before I knew I needed new A-arms. So I'll have to pull this shock mount bracket off of there. Go ahead and put it on the new A-arms also. Okay, the one thing that Super ATV does not do with these, there's no instructions in the box, and they're not marked right or left, but I'm assuming the label goes in front because that's the way it is on the other ones that I had bought before. So the Super ATV label will go in front. It's already got the upper ball joint. I'll swap my new bushings over in there. Go ahead and put this in. If you're forgetful like me, go ahead and put your Zerk fittings in now. That way you're not trying to do it later. Easy as that. Upper A-arm is in. A little bit of help from the angle grinder. And the lower A-arm is off, but there's my problem. That bolt is froze into there. So I need to knock that bolt out of there. As you can see on this bracket, this is that angle I was talking about that's cut into it, and that's to clear the weld on the A-arm. Okay, once the bracket is on, go ahead and tighten up your fasteners, and you are set. I can tell you the 2-inch bracket lift doesn't fit near as well on the aftermarket A-arms as it does on the stock arms. See how that's really pinched in at the top? I'll probably put a couple spacers in there, just a couple washers on each side. Straighten that back up. I'm just not too much of a fan of that. All right, the forward A-arms are on. Got the 2-inch bracket lift on there also, so we'll see how well that works with the 29s. Upper and lower arm. Ball joints are back in. You're going to reuse your factory lower ball joint. Just press it out of your old A-arm and press it into the new one. The Super ATV comes with a new ball joint already installed. You just have to set it up to adjust your camber on that. Extended tie rod ends that come with it. Get that bolted back in. I got to tighten that back up. Going to put the hub and the caliper on there, or the hub and the brake rotor, and the caliper also. So this side's about back together. Bracket lift. One thing I had to do with the bracket lift is put a couple washers on each side because on the Super ATV arm, this seems a little wider. So to get it to stand up correctly, it was too wide. It would pull in on the top of the shock. So put a couple washers in there for spacers. But the bracket lift's on, upper A-arm's on, hub's back on. Go ahead and get the caliper back on. All right, now go over and tighten up all your fasteners, double check, make sure you got everything back in. I've left some stuff out before. If you got extra parts left over, well, some you're supposed to have, some you're not. Then this side will be complete, and then complete the process on the other side. And that's all there is to installing these Super ATV forward A-arms. It's really, really simple. So feel free to comment with any questions. I'll get this front fascia back on there when I get the other side done. And I'll answer the best I can. Enjoy your rides. I hope this helped. And it's a great way to run big tires with no lift or even just a 2/8 lift. God bless you.